All right, so this tutorial is basically how to animate in Unity. Okay, so Unity is not the greatest to animate. There's definitely better tools out there to animate. I know that Toon Boom has created a new pathway. Like there's a way to export directly into Unity. There's other programs as well. If anyone's interested, I'll show you some other ones that are pretty cool. We're going to animate in Unity this time, but in the future, I'll have you guys make your animation in whatever media or program you decide to. I just wanted to cover it here because it's good for basic motion graphics and basic movement. So there's some things you would want to animate in game. So obviously like particle effects because they're generated in game, camera moves, audio, things like that that you would need to have happen in there. So this isn't the best way to do it, but it's going to work good for what we're doing. Now, you may have noticed I made a character with lots of articulating parts. It's not going to be possible to make like a really nice, bouncy, perfect animation. The only reason why I made him so many parts was just so that I don't have to redraw him for each one, but you could just draw your character specifically for each shot and just have the one part you need to animate. I just didn't want to do that because I'm lazy. So that is possible. Now, another thing... Well, we'll just go into it. So, first things first, I want to do is actually, if you look, my game camera here, yours is probably on this. This isn't a good resolution for me. I can't see everything. I'm going to switch this to 16:9 because that's typical resolution. 16:10 is actually the resolution of most monitors. Computer monitors, believe it or not. They're not actually 16:10. There's a little bit extra. I'm assuming it's because there's always a taskbar or something on the top and bottom, so that way you end up with that amount. So we're going to say 16:9. Now the problem with this, though, is you can see it's not very good. So I'm going to go to the scene view. I'm going to select my main camera, and I'm just going to go ahead and just scale this puppy out, like so. And I'm going to move it up, and I can see what the camera sees right here, which is nice. Good. Okay, so that's enough for what I need. Yay. All right. That's all fine and dandy. Next thing I need to do is actually, okay, so the other thing I want to do is this. I got the camera set up. I want to create a prefab. Okay, so what that is it allows me to, let me first make a folder for it, and then we'll prefab. It lets me that anything I create in here, so like this character obviously made a bunch of pieces, but I made a hierarchy of it. I set up where its sorting order is. I could add like we'll be adding animations to it, controllers, whatever. You can make things obviously in here. So, but if I want to be able to like access that whenever, I can make a prefab, and basically it's just all you do is you just click and drag that into a folder down here. See, it turns to a little box. And now what that allows me to do is that, let's say I want to instantiate, I want to make multiples, I can drop, gotta do it in here, I can drop multiple ones in now, and they're all of the same guy. So if you have like a zombie game or something, you want to have a bunch of zombie enemies, you don't have to make each zombie enemy. You can make one, and then just have it generate each time. And I'm going to need that because once I go from another scene to another scene, I'm going to need that character again, because I can't just have him here. I need him to be over here as well. But this way I'll do the animation on one, and then I can just apply it to different ones. Okay, hooray. So the way that the animation works inside of Unity is it works like you would expect for a video game engine. You make animation clips, and then you can apply those clips on actions or just have them happen. Think of like a fighting game, right? So you want to have when you push X, it punches, and when you push Y, it does a twirl kick, and so those are each different animation clips that basically you're firing with controls. So that's the way this works as well. So we're going to make an animation clip for each scene. Now, it is possible you could have it that you click on it and it makes the character do something. If you want to do that, that's fine too. But in this case, my main concern is actually just getting the animations to happen. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to make a bunch of like animation clips, and then we will go through and have them all go together. So the other thing I'm going to do actually too is I'm going to go ahead and, not under scene, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and put my other panels in here so that they're all set up. And I'm actually going to pause this. I'm just going to set up each panel. I'm just going to put them right in a row. So I'm going to pause it while I drop these in there. All right, so one of the things I noticed when I was importing this stuff in is that I went to import this bed in here, right? And let's just so you can see it, the ground. It's got white around it. I was like, oh crap, it's not gonna work, right? So basically when I export it out, I didn't export it with a transparent background. So one of the things I kind of want to show you is this. So let's say something like that happens, or you want to re-update an asset, right? So here's the actual folder. Here's the correct one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in here, and then I'm going to replace the file in the destination. So now that's the one there. Now what you're going to notice is that if I go here, I can actually go to refresh. And now when I drop it in there and go mid-ground, it's still white. Hang on a second. Why refresh? Hopefully this is, let me see. Hang on a second. Motion narrative. This is the right one. So I figured out why it wasn't working. So I'm gonna right click on this. If you go show and explore, it'll actually pop open your window, like your Windows menu thing here. I had replaced it in my artwork section, but not in the actual Unity where the assets where I stored it. So 2D panel. I gotta put it in here is the problem. So I'm gonna put that in there. Replace file and destination. There we go. Turn that one off. That one off. Now when I open this back up, it actually automatically did it. But you can click refresh, and so you can see now it's correct. So I'm gonna plop that in there, and I'm going to make this mid-ground, and I gotta scale her up. And put it over here. Good. All right. Good. All right. So that's all set up. Now I got my scenes. So eventually, when I take my camera here, and I can just pan from one thing to the next, so on and so forth. Okay. So that's what my hopes and dreams were. Great. So that's all fine and dandy, and we are now set up. So. Got my things in play, got all that to there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my character here, and I guess I could just select this actually, just select the highest thing in the order here. Yeah, might as well do that. So now I'm going to do waste. I'm going to select this, I'm going to hit add curve. Boom. Actually before I do that, I'm going to minimize this and minimize this. Okay. Like I said before, it's going to make these animation clips, so we have to have a place to store it. So I'm actually going to create another folder, and I'm going to call it animations. Okay, that's where we're going to store the animations eventually. So now I'm going to select that, add curve, put it in my animations folder, and we're just going to call this panel 01, right? Not the greatest name, but I'll just make I'll make a clip for each panel basically. Now in this, I'm going to want to basically do my position, and I'm going to add another curve. So these are each one of the things. You can see how it's kind of like After Effects. You're going to see it's actually very similar to that. And rotation, and I don't imagine I'm going to change the scale all that much. Good. Okay, so right now it does nothing. So here's my keys. I'm sure this probably looks similar to you, and here's my other keys. So I'm just going to start from the inside and work my way out. So I'm going to start with the root. So basically, I just want them to stand up. That's all I'm really looking for. So I'm just going to, right now it's going to take about 50 seconds. Oh, you know another thing I'm going to do? Right now it's sampling at 60 frames, which is normally what you want for a video game. But for ours, I'm not that concerned about it. And just to make it easier for me to understand for animation-wise, I'm going to do it kind of the same as you would see in Flash. So I'm going to do 15 frames per second. Now you just use your scrolly wheel here. Whoops. Okay. In order to kind of zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so just use your wheel. So we'll have it take 1, 2. I'm going to have it take, I don't know, 1 second, I guess we'll say, to stand up. All right, so it already sets default keys here, and it makes another one here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get all up in here. All right, and see if I can navigate this. All right. So basically he's got to stand up. So he's got to come kind of up and like this. So now you'll see that, yep, he does indeed do that. That's pretty exciting stuff. Now what I'm going to do is add another curve. and I'm going to do this to his upper leg. And really, I just need to do rotation, right? And I'm going to add, I'm going to add another one, and we're going to do his lower leg, or his other leg here, and we're going to do rotation on that as well. So basically, as it goes up like this, I'm going to have this one. Just going to click on it, E for rotate, rotate this down. Oops, back on you. There we go. And then I need to grab might be easier to just do it this way. So where's the right upper leg? I already did that one, this one. And put this leg down. Great. Now you'll see that he goes like this, which is pretty exciting. So I'm going to add another curve. And this one we're going to do is, we'll go underneath the upper leg and to the lower leg and the transform, and again the rotation, and we're going to add another curve, basically the same thing. I just did what, the left lower, so we'll do upper lower leg, transform, rotation. Okay, so now you take this and rotate this guy down, and I'm going to rotate this guy down like so, and so you're going to see he goes to stand up. And now that I did that, I can see the waist is a bit off. Okay, W. Alright, this is pretty exciting stuff. And then I'm just going to add some keys for his arms. Let's see. So I gotta go underneath the chest, and we're gonna do upper arm, transform, and rotation. And I'm gonna do the other arm as well. So boom. Okay, transform. So you can see this is a lot of things to kind of keep track of. So under chest, then upper arm, then lower arm, and then let me see, lower arm, transform, and rotation. Add another one, chest. So right upper arm, then lower arm, then transform. Making my eyes crossed. I'm making me always crossed. Alright, so here we go. Take this and we'll just rotate it kind of like that. Keep clicking off. Get back on there. Alright. And let's select this one. Rotate that down. And Q and W. Select this one. Rotate that down. Okay, Q, W, and rotate this one down. Alright, so now he goes, oh, I know. That's basically all I wanted to do, and I can make this a lot more robust, but I'm not too concerned. Now, the other thing you might notice is that if you were to play this, which we'll play right here, it's kind of boring. Okay, so I can actually, let's pull this panel up a little bit more so I can see all my keys. You can actually adjust these, so I'm going to grab all of these, and we will pull them into like here. Alright, but you'll notice that it's like that generic crappy timing. So the other thing you can do is, right now we're in dope sheet mode, you can actually switch to curves. And then what will happen is, it'll show you all of the curves. So I can see this one's, and this one, and this one, and this one, all the way down, okay? And then I can adjust them. So I will show you how to do that in the next video.